Welcome to another of our Getting to Know Folk around Clèir Eilean Ì conversations. And today our guest is Lyn Peden. Welcome to you, Lyn. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent. Now, I had the yearbook open at the page, so rather than me finding it, tell me, we'll see if you can remember all the bits of the name of your charge. Where is it you are now, Lyn?
Yeah, so the charge is now called North Clèir, but I have two congregations with 5 places of worship. Previously, it had been 6 parishes. So I have Tarbert and Kilberry, which is a union, and then I have Skipness, Clachan, Cleir, and the Isle of Ì, and together those 4 are called Mid Clèir and Ì.
Right. Yeah. I can raise you one. I've got 6 buildings. Yeah. It's a huge area that you're covering. Yeah.
And an island.
And an island. Yep. I've got 2 islands within my parish. I've never been on either of them, and I think one is technically inhabited with one holiday home. Yeah. So what would be some of the challenges of ministry across such a large area?
The challenge is the area. So there's a lot more travel, but less people. When I was in Glasgow, I had a united parish of 2 churches with about 10,000 homes. But now I've got 6 parishes with around 2,000 people.
Right. Yeah. Very, very similar to the numbers around here, and I also had moved up from the Central Belt, and one of the things that I often reflect upon is that while in Dalgety Bay we had a vibrant Sunday worship service, two services on a Sunday morning, and we would see 250, 300 folk. But that was out of a population of 11,000. And actually here, although population's low, the numbers are low, but the percentage of the population engaged in the life of the church is so much higher than anything I ever saw in the Central Belt. And I think often we're penalised simply for being in sparsely populated areas. Yeah. So what was it that brought you?
5. We have about 100 people attending. So
brilliant. Yeah. Yep. So what was it that drew you away from the Central Belt to the West Highlands?
Yeah. I was 10 years in Glasgow, having put a union there and sold a building, and decided it was time for change. The church I was in were ready for a new person, and I was ready for a change. And my husband and I talked about going more rural. And when Tarbert, at the time it was Tarbert, and Kilberry came up, and it was the profile. It felt a very clear call. They were looking for a parish minister, someone to be around the area. And there was a real sense that was right for me.
Yeah. So
after visiting, we came down for a visit. I had never been. I think once we'd been here before. We'd driven through Tarbert down to Campbelltown once many years ago.
Right.
So I didn't know the area. But my friend who knew the area well brought me down for a visit. And it just felt like home.
Aye, yep. I absolutely relate to that. Yeah, yep. As a kid, many family holidays around Loch Gilphead, Loch Sweden, Tavialach, that kind of area. But this part further north was uncharted territory. But visited the place, and initially I was thinking, maybe this isn't right, but just that sense of call and rightness just niggled away, and here I am. I've been here 13 years now. But you're what was 2020 that you?
Yeah, I'm coming up for my 4th year now.
Right. Yeah. So you had a little
the larger parish.
Right. Yes. Yep. So you had some time within the now former presbytery of Argyll, and now into Clèir Eilean Ì. So what would be some of your first impressions, your hopes, dreams for Clèir Eilean Ì?
I think, having been part of Glasgow for 10 years, which was a large presbytery, albeit within a small area, it is about communication and everyone playing their part. We've got plenty of people, ministers and elders as part of that. We've got a huge resource of gifts. It's how we help people to use those gifts in the wider area of presbytery, and committees and required.
And we've got you roped in already in the committee structure, and thank you for taking on the convenership of the Superintendence Committee. Tell us a wee bit about the remit, the scope of the committee's work.
It's quite an administrative one. We'll inspect the records as part of our annual review. We check all the books and make sure that each area is conforming to the practice, but also to support them and encourage them and offer help where needed. And then wider than that, we have what was the local church review. But now that we've got mission planning and other things, we're beginning to look at how do we work together with other committees, again, to encourage, support congregations. It's not about going in and making it's very much going in for fellowship, to encourage, to ensure that people have what they need to see where God is at work, and also to offer support where it's needed.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to. I think in years gone by, superintendence was all about quinquennials and tick lists, but now much more about supporting congregations and collaborating, helping one another. Yep. Are you going?
Very aware of how tired people are.
So how tired people are? Was that what you said? Yeah.
Yes, how tired. Everyone's exhausted, and there are so many other demands. And many of the churches, including my own, are getting on with the day-to-day business, but also day-to-day mission. And so we very much want to support that and see how we can help as a presbytery.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are you going to?
There is one further wee bit.
Okay.
Which, if there are any concerns or complaints within a congregation, then that comes to my committee, and we have procedures that work with that.
Right. Yeah.
But if anyone has a concern at all, they should contact me about something going on that's they're not sure about or worried about.
Absolutely. Yep. And best way to get in touch with you would be
through my mobile or my email.
Right. Yeah. We'll see that your email is there in the description below the video. If you could invite anyone along to a Clèir Eilean Ì meeting, anyone living or no longer with us, someone to talk to presbytery or to listen and to hear what we're up to, who would you invite along to a Clèir Eilean Ì gathering?
There are two elders who were very much part of my formation process. Jim and Clorinda, they're still dear friends, and we had a wonderful youth fellowship, or young people's group as it was called, and we produced 3 ministers from that group within the church. But they were elders with a young family who opened their house to us on a Sunday night and helped us to find our way in faith, to learn about God and Jesus and how to live the Jesus way. And they very much lived that. They were very humble, they were loving, they were wonderful, and that's what church should be.
Yeah, those.
And they were volunteers. There was no such thing as a youth worker in those days, and yet we could have 50 people in their house.
Right,
on a
fantastic.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So we broadened out. We had folk from Dalry, with Salcoat, Stevenson, because I was in Kilmarnock at the time. So we actually had a much broader area, almost an ecumenical grouping at times as well.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Yep. Are you going to be able to get along to the September conference in Fort William?
Yes, I am. I'm coming up for the day. Just
brilliant. Yeah.
Looking forward, because we're now this huge presbytery, getting to know folk, to see them face to face. The Zoom's good for the work, but for the fellowship, you need face to face.
Yeah.
That's why we created our Arbor Hub.
Right.
The other night we had our meeting. We met for fish and chips first.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's really important. There was someone else, was saying to me, the hub's working quite well technically, but we need to do more in terms of fellowship and what happens before and after the business. Yeah, yeah, excellent. Yeah. Now, how many folk did you have gathered together for the hub?
10.
Excellent. Yeah. Good. Yep. What would be some of your hopes for the next year for Clèir Eilean Ì? We'll be rolling out some thinking about the strategic plan, and we hope to be listening to everyone around the presbytery and to really be intentional about what we're doing. So what would be some of your hopes, aspirations for Clèir Eilean Ì?
I think I'm looking forward to these sort of extra meetings where we come together to discuss things. People need to be heard, and we need to find a way to have conversation. And we're doing that through the strategic plan process. But we're also looking at how, for me, this next year, how do we get elders and ministers involved in presbytery to come on board and to be involved, to play their part? Yeah.
I mean, I've heard many folks say that they really do feel that they're a part of something bigger, and it's all very exciting. I also hear some folks saying that they don't feel connected with the presbytery, and we need to all work together to create that sense of belonging to something bigger. And there's plenty work for everyone, and we can get many more involved. Yeah. We've spoken a lot about church, understandably. Tell us a wee bit about what you enjoy on your days off.
Yeah, I do try to have my 2 days off.
Good.
It's usually 1 day, 2 halves. Because of where I live, getting out and about with the dog, we've got so much beautiful area to explore, so many beaches and lovely walks. So being able to get out in all weathers is for me the best part of my time off.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. And then looking forward to holidays.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. It's been really good to catch up with you. I don't think our paths have crossed in real life. Seen you often on Zoom and Teams. Yep. It's kind of strange when you meet someone in real life. I remember once meeting someone that I had often been on online meetings with, and met them for the first time at General Assembly, and goodness, you're awfully tall. Well, you've never seen me standing up.
Yes, that's the thing. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yep. Well, thank you very much, Lyn, for your time and for all that you're doing for Clèir Eilean Ì, and particularly the Superintendence Committee. And look forward to meeting you in Fort William, the 11th of September. Thank you very much.
Very much looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.